Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Austin Silver. In today's video, we are hot. We are looking at GbpNzd short. This is the first trade of the week. As you can see, we are pushing lower. I am short from about 1.8861 as I'm taking this thing down. I'm up about 13 pips, as you can see right here. A really nice breakout. Now, I want to break it down for you just to show you what I liked about the trade and what I didn't like about the trade and why I still took a position anyway. So first things first, as you can see from the RSI low set here at 1:30 in the morning through to the price action low here set at 4:30 in the morning, we've created divergence. RSI is rising, but price action is falling. Now we're on the 5-minute chart here, so we're not going to weigh that divergence super heavy. It's not the most solid divergence we could find, because normally you'd want to find it on the higher time frames to really trust it, really think it's solid. So I identify it, but other than that divergence, everything else here was still telling me that we could see a move lower. And if I take it to the 15-minute, we were pushing off the 21 EMA, the red line, and we were very close to the 200 EMA. We broke the 200 overnight last night to the downside, consolidated underneath it, so you can see multiple times we hit that 200 EMA and hold it as resistance. Not only that, but if you zoom back into yesterday and you know how I draw my support and resistance zones, look at how we're breaking through the zone here set at yesterday's initial low at about 3:45 in the morning. So we're breaking through that zone here with the breakout, and that's why I'm short. Now the divergence today is being broken at the same time. I have been interested in shorting this since the RSI broke the purple trend line here at 6:05. I was waiting for price action. Once price action shifted down here, pushed through the zone, came off the 800, came off the 50, that was the indicator for me that this was the moment here about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, that I should get in the trade. And that's why I'm in. So like I said, I'm in profit here. I'm going to show you again, up about 14 pips. You can see it right there. And we're going to let this trade fall. It is only about 6:40 almost in the morning. This pair has a lot to give. You can see 5-day ADR is 177. Today it's only moved 100. So we have potentially 77 plus pips still to move on this pair. You guys saw last week I didn't hold into the whole thing when it fell 300 and I only got 30. So today, we're going to try to manage a little bit better and take a little bit more out of this trade. So I'll keep you posted. Here you can see it's fallen even more. Right there, up 15 pips. So I will update you guys when I close some of this or how it develops, whatever happens. I'll keep you guys posted. All right, guys, we're back. It is about 6:58. We're headed into 7 o'clock here. I am up 18 pips in the trade, 20 pips in the trade. You can see it's starting to pick up a little volatility here. We broke that divergence structure here on price action. How did I tell you? How did I know that it was going to come? Because the RSI had already broken. You see how the RSI was under that matching trend line? So you can anticipate, because the indicators are much stronger than price action, you can anticipate that price action will more often than not also break that purple trend line if it matches the same points that you used here on the RSI. So since the RSI was lower, you can anticipate that price action will also break that trend line. And that's exactly what happened here. So as you can see, I am up about 21 pips here. So what I'm going to do, as I always do, is move my stop into profit. So I can't lose the trade here. Locked in 20, and I'm going to take off half of the trade on my mobile phone, as I always do, right there. Half the trade out, 21 pips, bang, right there. Locked. Blue on the day, another win. Keep it rolling. I literally haven't lost a trade, and this is now the 3rd week in a row of keeping just straight wins and a lot of GBP pairs. So now we have half the trade out at 21 pips. We can let the rest of the trade continue to fall. I'm going to watch it here on the 5-minute to see if it does present an exit signal. But other than that, I'm going to try to hold this thing like we always talk about and let it fall outside the 8 EMA. So I'll check back in with you guys in a couple minutes. We're about to hit 7 o'clock. Look, you can see it now. 25, 26 pips, just tanking, tanking, tanking. So right there at 7 o'clock, guys, you can see we're up 25 pips in the trade, 26 pips now. A really solid move. I am out of half the trade, like I said. The other half, you can see the stop loss is in profit, so I cannot lose any money here. It's a great trade, great start to the week. I'm going to let it fall a little bit more, and I'll keep you guys posted on how it goes. If you guys are enjoying the trade, if you guys are enjoying this little educational recap, make sure you subscribe and make sure you give the video a thumbs up. It helps me reach more people and help other traders, okay? Please, thumbs up, subscribe. All right, guys, so another quick check-in here. It is a couple minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm looking at the trade, and I want to walk you through what I'm waiting to see if I'm going to close the trade before it hits my stop loss in profit. So since we broke that purple trend line here, this dropping trend line. Since we broke that, I'm going to look for a retest of that price level here around 188.50. If we can come up to 188.50 and stop, almost as if it was retesting this same trend line, so if I was to extend this trend line out like that, if it can come here and slow down and then look to make another move lower as this TDI starts to fall over, that would tell me to stay in the trade. But if it comes up to 88.50 and maybe bodies through really hard or slowly starts to kind of creep its way up above that price, it's going to get closer and closer to my stop, which is at like 88.57, 88.58, and it's going to end up bumping me in profit, still in profit for a couple pips, but if I'm paying attention, I can potentially get out of this trade with more pips if it is done its move. Now, we caught a nice chunk out of this. Taking 20 something pips or so is a good chunk. But because of ADR, we know it could still go lower, which is why I like to manage the trades this way. So I put the risk on, I take half off, put the stop loss at break even, and now I manage the trade as time goes on. So like I said, it's a little bit after 7 o'clock. I just wanted to touch base with you guys real quick and show you what I'm looking for. Again, a retest of that level 188.48, 188.50, and then a move lower. If it breaks that and comes higher, I might just yank the trade and come back and show you guys why I exit. So we'll watch, we'll see. Hopefully it holds the 8 EMA and just continues for the next few minutes/hours. I'd like to get maybe 50 pips out of this. That'd be a great trade. 50, 60 pips would be dope. So I'll keep you posted. I'll check back in a couple minutes. All right, guys, so it's now 7:15. I want to tell you a little bit more about what I'm seeing here. So, of course, when you're in a trade, even in a position like this where we've already taken profit and we have the position locked, you don't want to get stuck in looking at the shorter time frames. So if we zoom out to the 15-minute, we can see the formation that we entered on was a strong break. After holding the 200, you see the white line, after holding the 200 EMA all night. So because we had such a strong break and we did push pretty hard, I mean, from the 200 EMA, it's now fallen about 50 pips, you have to anticipate some type of a pullback. That's why I said I think it could retest this purple trend line here. And if it's going to move lower, it'll probably hold that 88.50 level before it comes lower. Now, at the same time, while you don't want to get stuck on the shorter time frames, you do want to be able to use the 1 minute like we're going to do right here and draw potential signals showing you that it might be moving higher, might be moving against you here. So we can see if we come to the 1 minute, there's a little bit of divergence forming here. You see how price is falling, but the RSI is starting to rise. Now, does that make you get out of the trade? Absolutely not. It makes you start to think the market could be changing. Changing is a very important word because changing is more like you bring alert to something, not necessarily that you act on something. So when we say the market's changing, it's something that you want to be paying attention to. So here, I want to now start to watch support and resistance zones. And again, remember we talked about that 88.50 level. So if I use my support and resistance zone rule, and I draw a box here to represent that zone, here's another really strong zone that I like to see price action hold. If price starts to get, above 88.50, 88.51, 88.52, that's where, like I said, I might take the rest of this trade off and just move on. But if we can hold this zone and I closed the trade here and this falls, I'm going to feel stupid because I know that it hasn't given me a solid exit signal yet, especially on the higher time frames. So it's now 7:17. We're going to give this a little bit more time. You see, on the 5 minute, we are outside the 8 EMA. On the 15 minute, we are outside the 8 EMA. On the 1 hour, we are outside the 8 EMA. So all these time frames telling us that we're probably going to move lower in the next hour or so. So I'm going to sit in. I have my stop locked in profit, like I said, and we're going to give this some more time. I'll keep you guys posted. All right, guys, it is 7:34. As you can see, we're only up about 7 pips here. It's pulling back. So I'm going to close the trade, take it out here. It's gaining some momentum, pushing higher. So I want to make sure that at least I take all the money off as best I can. Whether I get stopped at 4 pips in profit or I take the 7 pips, it doesn't matter to me. Those 3 pips difference isn't going to make or break us, right? We want to just make sure we're ending blue. We move on to the next trade. Now, what I can do is definitely analyze this and say, what could I have done better? Well, number one, I did a good job, I think, at following the plan and closing at 1R, like I did, and being able to take half off and lock the stop loss in case it does pull back, because you can see the momentum with a pair like this. If it does change direction quickly, look, within 10 minutes, it'll move 22 pips on you. Now, further than that, as you can see, into the next minute, it would have been very, very close to our stop now. So when this picks up momentum, I have to know to switch and just get out, right? That's the smartest thing to do. The one thing on the technical side that we could pay attention to that might have signaled to us that it was going to reverse is the divergence here on the 1 minute. And I spoke to you about that a few minutes ago. You can see from the RSI low at 638 to the price action low set here at 702, the RSI never makes a new low. Price action does. That creates divergence, and that's where you could potentially see the reversal. The break of the 50 EMA here with that strong body right there, 731, 732, 733, that was probably an indicator that we were going to see at least a little bit more of a push higher, and I maybe could have gotten out there. But overall, I followed the plan well, pulled money out of the trade, can't be mad at being blue, so we move on to the next one. Like I said, analyze for the divergence, move on, learn, and we just go for the next trade, one good trade at a time. So if you learned something, drop a comment, let me know what you think. If you have any questions about the way that I trade, let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to get a hold of me, just hit me on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.